everyone, welcome back to another episode of Backstage Spotlight. Today we have Jessie with us. Hello, Jessie.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on. It's
Thank you
exciting.
so much for coming. It's so exciting. For those who don't know you, would you like to introduce yourself, a bit about what you're doing at the moment?
Yes, of course. So, like you said, my name is Jessie Odeleye. I graduated in 2022 and now I'm in Mamma Mia in town in my second year. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So exciting. So, how did you come about performing? Have you always been like singing, dancing?
Yes, so I started out in dance as a kid. My mum always loves to tell this embarrassing story of when I was two. I used to watch this show called Angelina Ballerina. I don't know if anyone knows
Yes.
it. Yes. So she would like watch me like dance along to that and like try and copy. So she put me into ballet when I was three. So started that, and then I started going to like acting workshops and then like half terms and summer holidays when I was about 11. And then I started doing proper musical theatre training at about 13. Started going to a weekend school, which then prepared me to audition for the BTEC at Emile Del Academy when I was 15. And then I went there when I was 16 to 18 on the BTEC. And then I continued to stay there for the degree from 18 to 21. So yeah, I would say I've always wanted to do some sort of performing. I didn't know that musical theatre was like my true passion until I was 13. That's when I was like, oh, actually, I love doing a bit of everything and doing them all at the same time. But yeah, but I've always had a passion for performing, always had a passion for dance. Yeah, and it's just lucky that it's worked out. So yeah.
Such a lovely little story. I was going to ask you, when you were auditioning for like BTEC degree, like you said you went to Emile Dale like the whole time. Was there ever a moment where you wanted to maybe branch out and audition for other places too?
Yes, so I actually didn't originally even want to go to Emile Del Academy. I was planning to do A levels, but they had a Hamilton workshop happening. So I said, okay, cool, I'll just go along to that. And from that, I got an audition to go to the school. And then I did the audition, got in. So I was like, oh, okay, I might as well go. Went, and then I was actually planning on wanting to branch out for to different drama schools. So I auditioned for different drama schools all around the country. And then I was just like, actually, EDA is the right fit for me. I loved the training. I loved the way they worked. Their curriculum really worked for me specifically. So I said I might as well stay on there. Obviously, it's different for each person, but yeah, it just worked out that that was the best place for me.
Great. What would your advice be for people who are auditioning? Because obviously it can be very harrowing to audition
Yes.
for all these different places. What would you
Yeah.
say is the most important thing?
I would say remember that you're auditioning the school as well as the school auditioning you. Like you need to make sure that it's somewhere that you would like to go, that you would feel comfortable in. It's going to give you the type of training that you're looking for. And that also you don't need to be a finished product. I think it's so easy to go in auditioning for drama school thinking if I can't do everything that they ask me to, then I'm not going to get in. And I'm a prime example of I was not good at everything that they asked me to do on that day. Like there were certain things I was not confident in and I still got in. They're just looking for potential. They're looking for people that, are trainable, that want to do it, that want to improve. So yeah, just remember that you don't need to be a finished product and you are looking for the right drama school as well as drama school looking for you.
Yeah, that's so true. And how
Yeah.
was your time at drama school?
I actually had a lovely time at drama school. Of course, it was hard, it was tiring, it was knackering, but I had a really good 5 years there. I made such amazing friends and amazing bonds, and we just had a great faculty in terms of the duty of care there was amazing, as well as the training. So you felt like you were supported in every aspect. I'm sure most drama schools have this, but we had like a very open door policy of like we could go and talk to different teachers and different people in the school about anything. And you felt like you were actually supported, that you were heard, and that you were listened to. And I felt prepared to come out of drama school, which is really lovely. So yeah, I had a great
Yeah,
time.
that's really nice to hear. What would be the one thing you would tell yourself back in drama school if you could?
Oh, what would I tell little me in drama school? Um, it's not Fame and it's not High School Musical when I was 16. It's not that. I would say don't put pressure on yourself to get everything straight away. I think I was very much like, if I get told this today, it has to be perfected by tomorrow. So I would say give yourself some time and grace. Um, and in my first year of both BTEC and degree, I would say knuckle down a little bit more. I think I was very much like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I'm meeting new people, getting to know everyone. And I think that wavered my focus a little bit. So I would say, in that focus, relax and give yourself some time, but knuckle down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that.
Work hard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Let's talk about leaving college and agents because
Yeah,
it's just such a buzz at the moment.
yes,
Agent representation, agent interest, agent meetings.
yes, yes.
What would just can you brain spill on your experience? Because I think it would be really helpful for people to hear.
Of course. So, with the way that Emile Del Academy works, we had two shows and we had an agent showcase and an agent day. So that was four opportunities in the year for agents to come and see us. Even though we had four opportunities, it still didn't feel like we knew how to navigate agents because the school would invite them and we would just like wait and hope for the best. So I actually first of all started emailing some agents just because I wanted to see like what they were actually looking for in terms of like criteria on paper. And a lot of the time agents would say, can you send over a spotlight and make sure you have some sort of singing reel and dance reel? So that made me go, okay, two things I definitely need is a singing reel or singing video of myself and a dance reel so that they can see what I can do. Then it came to third year, and the way that it worked for us was the agents would go, we are interested in these people, please put them in contact with us. And then we would go and have those agent meetings. But we were never really taught how to actually navigate meetings, which I think is such a big conversation. Because I was also like, I don't know how to present myself in terms of, do I need to treat this like a really official business meeting? Is this a casual chat? Like, I didn't know, would an offer be at the end of this? Like, I didn't know how it worked. So I would say just relax. Like, I learned, like, after having a few meetings, it's like, okay, just be yourself. They're wanting to have a conversation with you. um and in terms of like agents work so differently. Like, I had some that were really casual meetings, and then some people got offered straight away, and then others were like, okay, we're going to meet you, then we're going to come watch your show, then we're going to come watch your showcase, and then we'll make a decision. So yeah, I mean, I had a big vary of agent meetings and like different styles of agents, and at the end of the day I just wanted to focus on the type of relationship I wanted with my agent, which was someone who I felt like I was very comfortable speaking to about different topics, very comfortable in going, I'd love you to push me for this if I felt like I needed to tell them that, or this is something I wouldn't really want to do in the industry, and felt like they would support me 100% of the way. And I also wanted it to feel like a team effort. Obviously, some people are completely different, but I wanted it to feel like we were equally playing our parts in our relationship. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that's so important when going to these meetings, like knowing a
yeah,
few questions that I think you want to get out of it, and
yes,
like a list of things that like you would need to know for each agent, and then you can go away and
100%.
compare and like
Yeah, 100%.
consolidate all that information. When you're
Yeah,
reaching out to these agents like via email, how would you
yes,
word it? Because there's a lot of speculation about, is it like a long formal like paragraph,
yeah,
or is it just like a hello, here's me, here's my CV, would love to chat. Like what sort of thing
yeah.
would you write?
So I went down the shorter route of, hello, I love the way your agency works. My name is Jessie, and I would love to have an informal chat about representation or whatever. And then I would link my spotlight. But I've had friends who did the longer version explaining, I've just graduated drama school, or I've just come out of X, Y, and Z job or whatever. So I think if you're initially looking for representation, I would say maybe go the shorter route and say, here's my spotlight, this is my name, I would love to have an informal chat about representation, just to like get your foot in the door and see which one works for you. I would say if you're changing agents, or if you're still looking for representation whilst in a job, then maybe you can explain a little bit more of like, I'm either looking to change my representation for whatever reason. I would love to have a chat about with you about representation, as I love the way your agencies run, or I love what your clients are in for, or whatever. Or if you're in a job, then you can be like, I'm currently in Mamma Mia West End looking for representation. And maybe even with being in shows, you can then offer them to come and watch you in the show as like an in-person show reel type thing. A couple of people in the class that were looking for representation last year did that. So yeah, I would say if it's initial, like coming out of drama school and looking, maybe go a shorter route, just because they're probably getting it from a lot of people from a lot of drama schools. But once you're out in the industry and you're either changing agents or in a job looking for one, then maybe you can extend that email further, I would say.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Jessie. I think that's
That's all
really
right.
important for people to hear. Let's talk about Mamma Mia.
Yes, of course, of course.
So you started the show in what year?
2022. So I graduated in July and I started in September of that same year.
Amazing. And you're in your second year of the contract.
Yes. Yes, I
So
am.
how did you start off? Like, what part were you playing, and how did you find the show?
Yes. So I started out as ensemble first cover Ali, which I auditioned through the open call to get it. So we started that rehearsals in September, and then I opened 10th of October, and I did that for a year. Then, when you're in a contract, they ask you if you would like to stay on and what you would like to stay on as. So I said I'd be happy to stay on as either a swing or to take over the part of Ali. And they came back to me and they said, we'd love you to take over the part of Ali for your second year. So I said yes. And I started rehearsals for that whilst doing the show in my ensemble track at night in September of 2023. And I opened as the track of Ali, which I'm doing now on October 9th of 2023, and I'll be finishing in October this year. So
Amazing.
yeah.
So fun. And what is your favorite part in the show?
Oh, I think my favorite part to do is definitely the whole hen night, which is the last like 10-15 minutes of the show where all of the girls ensemble and parts are on stage for Sophie's hen do, and we do 4 songs back to back. It's absolutely like complete chaos, but so much fun. So I would say that is my favorite part to do with everyone. But I also love doing Honey Honey with the Ali and Ali, I'm Ali, with the Sophie and Lisa, because that sets up the entire show. And also that's like our little like energy booster as well, of like, okay, cool, we've got this, the show's running, we can get like go ahead with it. So yeah, I would say those are my 2 favorite parts of the show.
So much fun. Can you tell us a bit about like what life is like behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
like when you arrive at the theatre, like what your routine is before a show?
Yes. So on a typical one show day, we will be in from 6:15 for warm up, but I tend to get to the theatre for about 5:30, do makeup, eat dinner, and whatever, and say hello to everyone. And on a 2 show day, it's 1:45. In terms of like my routine before the show, I mean, first thing is always makeup before warm up, just because I like having it done, and eating before a show always. I'm trying to think if there's any pre-show like rituals I have, which I don't think there are any like set ones, but I just have a set schedule of like I do the same thing in the same order, like to make sure I'm ready. So I will always makeup first, mic on, like accessories on, costume on. That is always like my routine. Um, in the dressing room, I feel like we just always have like a check-in moment. Whether that is like, how was your day? Like, what are you like, how are you feeling in terms of show wise? So we can sense energy in the dressing room, and like if we like are like, it's okay, we'll pick you up today, it's all good. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say when we're at the beginner's call, we always do as a company in the overture, there's like a section where it's doing like the end bit of Mamma Mia, and we just do a quick like clap clap, and that's like everyone checking in, getting ready to start the show. But yeah, I would say that is mainly kind of like the pre-show stuff that we do. There's nothing like completely set in stone. It can like differ each day. Sometimes on Saturdays we're a bit more crazy and like we'll do like different things with other people in other dressing rooms, but it tends to be the same thing pretty much every day. So yeah.
Great. I was talking to Meg Haterley the other day, and she mentioned the clap
Yeah.
clap in the overture,
Yeah.
so it's so nice to hear that, it's like a company thing.
Yes.
I also asked her if there's any, like, hidden gems in the show, so, like, moments backstage where every night in that scene or that song, like, you all do something backstage, like, with the people that you're waiting to come on with, like a ritual that you would always
Ooh.
do.
Well, when I was in ensemble last year with Meg, when she would come off after Mamma Mia, she got into a rhythm of me taking, she has a guitar, and me taking the guitar off her, or in the corridor, me giving her a high five. But I feel like that is stuff like you wouldn't even think of backstage.
Yeah.
Currently, the boys come into the wing just before voulez-vous, and it's like a thing of, it's normally the Pepper and the Sky that we just have a mini conversation with, and it's like the most random conversations, but like that was always something that happens that I think no one would ever notice. What else? Is there something that we do? Ooh, I'm trying to think. I'm sure like anyone that comes on for Money Money definitely has their things. Because when I was in Money Money last year, I would always have like a pre-show like story coming on from my side of stage with someone coming from the opposite side of the stage. So I would definitely say stuff is happening all the time. Or it's more so like sometimes we'll play like little hidden games on stage. So like the other day we had a little pass the bracelet, which, you know what, shouldn't have been happening, but it, like little things like that will start to happen, or we'll give each other like little tasks or little challenging to do. One gem that happens on stage actually is in Super Trooper between me, Lisa, and one of the ensemble girls. Is every time she sings "Feeling Like a Number One," we are trying to guess the same number and hold up the same number of fingers during Super Trooper,
Oh, I love
which
that.
if you weren't in the show, you would never see. But like every day, we're like, okay, what number is she gonna go for today? And we're on opposite sides of the stage, so that happens every single night, which is really really fun. I would say that's my favorite bit. So we're always like, okay, what number finger are you going for today? So yeah, we all have to try and match.
That's great. And what are you like as a company? Are you very close? Do you, like, go out a lot together?
Yeah, we are quite a close company actually. I really love the fact that we it doesn't feel like there's any like cliques or like specific groups.
That's so
Obviously,
good.
you have people that you're closer with or whatever, but you can genuinely talk to anyone in the company. Like, I will go into the Dynamo's dressing room, I'll go into like, obviously, in between shows, not when anyone's getting
Yeah.
changed or anything. But like you can go into any dressing room, have conversations with anyone. We do tend to like to go to the pub a lot after like a Saturday night show. We've gone out a few times. We One of the girls in the cast early on in the contract got engaged, and we all went to her
Oh,
engagement
yay.
party. So yeah, I would say we're a very close knit cast. We're all hilarious. Like everyone's got their own crack or their own sense of humor. So yeah, we come together a lot as a cast, and it's really lovely that we let everyone have their moments. So if someone's got family in, we'll make sure to highlight them in the finale. If someone's had a great, I don't know, something outside of work or inside work, we will always like highlight different people and be like, today is your day. Today we celebrate you. So yeah, it's really
That is
lovely,
so,
lovely.
so, so lovely. Um, what do you think you want to do in the future? Like, what is your dream job post Mamma Mia?
Right. So post Mamma Mia, I think I would love to do some shorter contracts. I would love to have like different shows or workshops or whatever, like lined up and do some shorter contracts just to have a variety of things. In terms of actual dream show, I have two, which is Hamilton and Lion King. I'd
Yeah.
love to do those at some point in my career. Coming out of drama school, I kind of wanted to do them straight away. And now I'm like, do you know what? When they happen is when they happen. um yeah, I'm not putting pressure on them now, but they was definitely some dream shows. But I would love to do some shorter contracts. That would be really really cool. Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever considered doing like TV work?
Oh my gosh, yes. I think in the TV space, I think I would love to do anything that's like teenager, young adult. I feel like that is where I fit at the moment. And I think even like stuff like Disney, I feel like I'm in that realm for TV stuff. Obviously, if anything came up, I would absolutely love to do it. But also when I'm older, I would love to do like a serious drama. Like when I'm like older, more matured, got my like TV acting more under my belt, I would love to do like some sort of like BBC drama or Netflix drama, something like that would be really, really cool.
Yes, it would. Um, Obviously you've been so lucky with having Mamma Mia for so long, but in between contracts, what do you think your go-to is to like keep busy, make money?
Yeah. I love teaching. I do love teaching, so that would be a go-to. I love fitness, so I would love to teach fitness classes, spin classes. Um, and do you know what? It ranges, I think. There are some days where I'm like, do you know what? To work in like an independent bakery or to work in retail would just be fine. It's like no pressure. Just go in, do my job and go home. And other days I'm like, no, I'd love to like teach and, work with different, like I've got some friends who are in choreography. I'd love to like shadow them and do stuff
Yes.
like that. So that would be really cool to like further my career along. But also whilst I'm in a contract, I'm trying to save as much as possible. So hopefully, like when I come out of Mamma Mia, if I haven't got something lined up straight away, I can take like a month off to just rest, recuperate, see friends and family. But yeah, it varies, I would say.
Yeah. As a self-employed performer, it's the question of the century. How do you do your tax? Like accountant, no accountant? What is just
Yes,
the pinnacle advice for that?
I have an accountant because I'm just too lazy to do it on my own. Like that is the honest truth. And I'm also someone where even if I could, like I'm very self-sufficient and there's a lot I can do on my own. But with my tax, I just have a fear of it going wrong.
Yeah.
And then HMRC coming back and being like, no, actually, you owe us thousands of more pounds that I just don't
Ooh.
have. So
Yeah.
I have an accountant. He does it all for me. I would just send everything off to him. But I will say, do know what is going on and what you should be saving for and what you can claim back and percentages of things. I will say, have an idea just in case. I'm not saying an accountant is going to come and do you wrong or mess it up, but just for your own self. And that hopefully one day, maybe I will do it on my own. But just to have an idea of what is going on. So then also you know how to work with your accountant rather than just going, I have no idea what's going on, and you just send it all to them. But yes, I have an accountant who helps me out, but I would say just have a receipt for absolutely everything. Like everything and anything, whether it's a coffee you had on the way to work, a gym set that you bought for an audition, sheet music that you've printed off, like it doesn't matter what. I would just say have a receipt for absolutely everything. And then you can go through and actually go, okay, what is realistic for me to claim back and what can I just not claim back at all? Um, yeah, because I even realized things like your bills, like bills at home, a percentage of that you can claim as home office, which I didn't
Wow.
even think was a thing, or like a laptop, a phone bill, your Netflix subscription, your Amazon Prime. Like there's so many little things where you can claim a percentage of that I literally just had no clue. So yeah, keep all your receipts, all your invoices, everything.
Yeah, so important to know. And also, something that like most people don't know is that you can actually claim back for the money you pay your accountant.
Yes. Yes, this is a thing as well. Once you've paid your accountant and they've invoiced you, save that invoice and you can put it on next year's tax return because that is for your tax and that is for your job. So yeah, and it's the same with agent commission. I've known some of my friends that didn't realize they can claim back agent commission, and I'm like, absolutely, because that is money that you have to pay for your career. You didn't choose to pay that money. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
there's
too.
so much. Even like if you need your hair done for a job, like
Yes.
just a makeup
Yeah.
for a job, like
Yeah.
so much more in this industry that you can claim for with it being so like creative,
Yes.
like dance shoes, like
100%.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, even at Mamma Mia, they required my hair to be in braids. So, for that to have an upkeep, I have to pay for that. There's certain makeup that they provide and certain makeup I have to provide for myself. So anything that I have to provide for myself, I absolutely claim back because I'm like, this is all for work. Any Laduca shoe you buy, trainer you buy, your audition trainers, ballet shoes, jazz shoes, all of that stuff you can absolutely claim back. So yeah, even partly gym memberships, if I'm not mistaken. I think if it's specifically for the job, like if you have to be in a certain type of shape or physique for the job, and you then have to get a gym membership for that, then you can claim that back. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
interesting. The last question I always ask everyone who comes on my podcast is, if you could nominate someone from the industry to impart their knowledge onto my podcast,
Oh,
who would it be?
oh my gosh. Who would it be? There's so many people that just have so many different insights. If you could, and if you could have them together, I think it would be like the absolute powerhouse is Matthew Ives and Amy West. They are two of my really good friends and just two amazing people in this industry that have been swings, dance captains, associates, choreographers. They have been all of that stuff in this industry, and their knowledge is just impeccable and like out of this world in terms of stuff like that. People who like also like fly under the radar. I would say one of my besties, Christian Maynard. He is amazing in this industry. And he's done so many different like varieties of work. So I would say he would definitely be one to come on here. Yeah, I would say those three: Matthew Ives, Amy West, and Christian Maynard. Those would be my three.
Great.
So
I will
yeah,
reach out and see what we can do.
of course.
Thank you so much, Jessie. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to
Thank you
everyone for
so much.
listening, and we'll see you next week.
See you next
Bye.
week. Thank you so much.